In this issue, Johnny Blaze and his literal demon must race an obstacle course in hell for their freedom. Let's find out how that goes in this issue of Ghost Rider.
Look into my eyes. Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain.
This issue starts in the underworld, basically hell, with a demon making his way to the ruler of this dominion, the Lord of Lies himself, Mephisto. The demon in question is Asmodeus, and he comes to Mephisto bearing gifts, new souls for Mephisto to torment. Mephisto is skeptical. Asmodeus must want something. He calls the demon out on this. Asmodeus assures him otherwise. He pleads with the Lord to accept his humble offering. Mephisto pauses. The souls are accepted. They are dropped into the well of souls where they are to suffer until Mephisto decides their ultimate fate. Mephisto asks.
And now what?
Asmodeus says. Mephisto calls him on his bullshit and demands to know what he really wants. Asmodeus caves, stating,
I have no valid motives. I only have a small suggestion.
Mephisto is intrigued. He hasn't had a proper amusement in a long time. He also tells Asmodeus that no one likes a brown nose, as the demon is getting out of hand with his compliments and sucking up. Asmodeus gets on with his suggestion. He starts by bringing up the Ghost Rider, and for the first time ever, we hear the demon who possesses Johnny Blaze's true name. Mephisto calls him Zarathos. Asmodeus states that with so many other matters that Mephisto has to attend to, why not let Asmodeus himself lift the burden of Zarathos off his hands? Let him take command of the demon. Mephisto mocks this, stating,
Of course, the command of such a powerful servant as that of Zarathos would be a mighty tool in his quest for dominion over the mortal spear. Has nothing to do with such a magnanimous gesture.
Oh, nothing, my lord. Of course, Mephisto isn't going to just hand over Zarathos. He proposes a contest. Zarathos will have to run a gauntlet with his freedom being the prize. If he fails, he will belong to Asmodeus. If he does indeed succeed, there will be a minor penalty for Asmodeus. But Mephisto assures him it's nothing to worry about at the moment. As Mephisto begins to prepare, we cut to the Quentin Carnival. Blaze, Red, and Miss Randolph are grilling Mr. Quentin on why he got wrapped up with Steelwind and almost ruined the carnival. As Blaze is laying into him, he becomes winded all of a sudden and decides to get some air. The others look concerned as he leaves. Blaze rides off wondering what he is feeling. The demon inside him seems to be stirring, but for what reason? Suddenly, he is ambushed. The demons get the drop on him and knock him out and drag him to a portal. Blaze wakes up and is looking straight into the eyes of Mephisto and Asmodeus. Blaze is not pleased to see the monster who ruined his life and cursed him. Mephisto is unfazed by his remarks and lets him know that he has brought him here to aid him once again. I use the term aid him very lightly, as we have seen what aid from the devil usually brings.
Stop helping me!
He is presented the sword of DeMatteis by one of his servants. Mephisto wields the blade, showing it off to Blaze, letting him know that this blade is the means to his salvation, as he will sever his ties to the demon bonded to him. He asks Blaze if he has the courage for such freedom, and immediately swings the sword, striking Blaze, and instantly Zarathos springs forth. Just as Zarathos begins to celebrate his freedom, Mephisto interrupts.
Not quite free.
Hearing this, Zarathos gets pissed and threatens Mephisto. Not feeling threatened in the slightest, Mephisto goes on to explain that he brought him here to free him from Blaze permanently. Zarathos doesn't believe him, accusing him of lying. Mephisto lets him know his patience is starting to wear thin. He has offered Zarathos his independence. Shall he accept, or should Mephisto find a new form for Zarathos to inhabit? Perhaps a snake, or a mud-crawling sow? Blaze is probably thinking, yes, please. Get that demon away from me! But at that threat, Zarathos quiets down and listens. Mephisto then frees Blaze awkwardly. Now Mephisto explains the catch. Johnny Blaze and Zarathos must race together in a gauntlet to the portal they arrived in, avoiding all pursuers, hellish traps, and they must reach the portal together. Once done, they will no longer be bound to each other. They both will be free of Mephisto. As they begin their journey, Blaze is overwhelmed in the thought as he can't believe he could finally be free of the demon. Meanwhile, Zarathos warns Blaze to steer clear of him and obey his directions, as they are now in his world. Asmodeus gets the word out to his demons. Stop both Zarathos and Blaze, no matter the cost. As both Blaze and Zarathos continue on their journey, Zarathos is struggling to remember, as ever since he's been bonded to Blaze, he hasn't been able to remember anything prior to that event. And right now, back in Mephisto's domain, after being gone for so many years, he could use those memories to his advantage. Suddenly, a giant hand blocks their path. Saturnine! Zarathos shouts. This giant demon is guardian of the Road of the Lost Souls. He has come to repay Zarathos for his past insults. Zarathos mocks this.
For the little I recall, you are an insignificant oaf then, and you are less than that now. Taste my hellfire, idiot!
He shoots a blast of hellfire straight at the giant's face, and dodges as the giant answers back by slamming his fist in the bridge, destroying it. Blaze reluctantly helps Zarathos up. The giant goes back to mock Zarathos. A demon who once commanded legions of followers now is reduced to crawling to mortals for aid. Zarathos is getting more frustrated by the second. Blaze tells Zarathos if they plan on making it out of here, they are going to need to work together. He has an idea and whispers it to Zarathos. And a moment later, they are off, riding straight towards the giant. The giant slams his fist down in front of them and they ride straight up, confusing the giant. They mock and anger him. He refuses to let them escape and leaps forward, not paying attention, and impales himself on his very bridge.
May he hang there, agony till eternity's end.
Mephisto is surprised by their uneasy alliance, and it has Asmodeus worried. As they ride further ahead, Blaze thinks to himself, wondering if he has what it takes to survive this nightmare, and wondering why his life has turned out this way to begin with. Just then, he notices up ahead. His mom? Dad? Is it really them? Zarathos yells at Blaze to snap out of it. This is the Road of Lost Souls for a reason. A man can be tempted by dreams and illusions. Blaze ignores this and goes towards them. Zarathos, not in the mood for this crap, just shoots them both with hellfire. Both scurry away as demons. The illusion has vanished. Zarathos tells Blaze off, calling him a simpering, weak-willed wretch, telling him his lack of strength was a positive when they were on Earth, as it allowed Zarathos to take control when he needed to. But here, in the underworld, that quality only serves to hinder their progress. And Zarathos will not have it. Blaze just shrugs this off, saying he wasn't complaining a while ago when he helped beat that giant. They both ride on. Suddenly, they are blocked by bodies. Tons and tons of bodies piled up on top of each other. A mountain of people. Zarathos remembers. He calls it an awesome testament to the baseness of human nature. Mount Avarice. Zarathos says these souls were not unlike you, Blaze. Solitary souls concerned only with themselves, shunning contact with their fellow man. As they began to ride atop the mounds of people, Blaze shouts that he isn't afraid. He says the only reason he stayed away from others was because of Zarathos himself. But things have started to change. He has found people that truly care for him in the Quentin Carnival. He might have once been a kindred spirit to these cursed souls, but not anymore. As he looks upon the lost souls, though, he starts to feel a small amount of doubt, but that is just enough. As he falls off his bike, and many hands start to drag him down. Observing this, Asmodeus seems confident. Mephisto thinks otherwise. Zarathos observes Blaze's struggle and decides to give him a hand. As much as Zarathos despises Blaze, he despises his servitude far more. He lets Blaze know as much, telling Blaze that he would have gladly left him to his fate if they weren't supposed to finish together. Blaze is now concerned with how he's going to make it without his bike. Zarathos states the course is best finished on foot from here. As they walk closer towards the goal, Blaze thinks to himself, one way or another, he will be walking out of here, alone. They are finally in sight of the portal, the gateway of emancipation. They just have to scale an incline, navigate one final tunnel, and it will be all over. As they scale the wall, a couple of demons cut loose a boulder. It rolls directly towards the odd couple. Zarathos shoots his hellfire, slowing the boulder to a halt. One problem, the way is now blocked. Maybe go back around somehow, circle around? And nope, the mountain of avarice has followed them and is slowly moving closer. They are trapped. Never! Zarathos shouts. He won't have it. He uses every ounce of his power to destroy the boulder. The deed is done. But this has left the demon unconscious, and as much as Blaze would love to leave him behind, he uses his leather jacket to drag him the rest of the way, as touching him directly would have Zarathos' flames consume Blaze, and the clothes he wears must have been enchanted, as they are the ones he wore when he first turned into Ghost Rider. That's why they were never affected by his hellfire. They have reached the top, but the damned souls are getting closer. Blaze has done his part. It's time for Ghost Rider to do this. Zarathos gets up and shoots hellfire, burying the souls. As they come within steps of the portal, Blaze thinks to himself if there is a way to keep the rider here. But just then, Zarathos demands Blaze to halt. He states that the rules were for them to get to the portal together. It was never stated they needed to cross together, and Zarathos is worried that if they cross the portal, they will be merged together, and there is no way Zarathos will allow that to happen, so only one will return. He shoots Blaze with hellfire. Blaze guards with his jacket, immune to the hellfire. Blaze is disgusted at the idea that they have shared a body together long enough that they must think alike, since both of them have come to the same conclusion of wanting to leave the other behind. They fight amongst each other, trying to stop each other from entering the portal. This, however, proves useless, as in their struggle they both fall through the portal and seemingly merge back into one. Blaze gets up, angry, pounding his fists against the boulder. He can feel the demon inside him. He curses Mephisto's name. He lied again! As he shouts angrily, pounding, he transforms into Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, who is also pissed to be once again trapped in Johnny's body.
Hear me, Lord of Hades. Zarathos shall repay you for this humiliation. The Ghost Rider will have his vengeance.
Now here is the catch. As Mephisto tells Asmodeus, if they would not have battled each other, if they would have walked side by side in peace through the portal, they would have remained separated until eternity's endless end. The curse of the Ghost Rider would have been lifted. Now, for repayment. Asmodeus starts to cower.
Surely you jest. This was all but a game. A simple amusement.
Mephisto claims he is not amused. Asmodeus begins to run away as Mephisto disintegrates him. Mephisto sits upon his throne, satisfied at how the day has gone. Asmodeus is finally out of his hair for good, and he has yet driven another spike through the heart of his hated Zarathos. For as long as Mephisto rules, the demon Zarathos will never have his freedom.
This issue was an absolute blast, finally getting to see Johnny Blaze and Zarathos interact with each other from an outside perspective, as two separate entities. I had a lot of fun with this issue, especially with the art, the colors. I would only have one issue, and that's Don Pearlin's guest artist work on just Johnny Blaze's face. It's a very minor nitpick, but I really like how Bob Budiansky illustrates his face. I don't know, he just looks like this. I don't have a good example, I just think I prefer it over Don Pearlin. We also get a great example of the true manipulator that Mephisto is, as he told Zarathos and Johnny Blaze that if they got to the portal together, they would be separated permanently. But he never really gave the true details on what they should do. You know, walking through the portal separate and at peace. He didn't really give all the details. He left enough out just so he could get them there. He knew for a fact that they would betray each other. And I love that about his character. He didn't lie, but he didn't, give the full truth. And that goes to show what a master manipulator he really is. And it was a lot of fun just seeing that deviousness that Mephisto is. I don't know, I think he's a really interesting character, and he can be quite entertaining to watch. Be his devilish self. That was a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I would like to hear what you guys think of my videos. And if you have any suggestions or anything you think maybe I should change or work on, besides the ending audio always sounding like crap. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. In the next video, I hope to start doing my goal is to start doing these twice a month, at least. I know I've only been doing about once a month. I want to start to try to get faster at this process. But in the next video, it's going to be a pretty big project. I'm doing something I've been very, very excited about and wanting to do. I'll give you guys a little hint with this picture. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for the next video. I hope you guys enjoy. You guys take it easy and have a good day.